we have Australia's largest range of tyre brands and sizes. Find a cheaper identical tyre locally stocked and we'll beat it. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
It's round 20 VPL action. South Melbourne travel to take on the Melbourne Knights out here at Knights Stadium, the traditional Melbourne derby. And John Kyra, it's been a long time since we saw these two teams in such great form.
That's right, David. The Knights sitting pretty in second spot on the VPL ladder, South in fifth spot. Both teams with a chance to win today and consolidate a spot in the top three. The Melbourne Knights and South drew here 2-2 last year, and also in the corresponding fixture at Lakeside Stadium earlier this season also drew 2-2, David.
Timmy Marler has to fight for that one. He'll get it back here, Marler, the right back, chips that one in to no avail. Having another go though, Sulsma turns onto the left, now back onto the right. Sulsma with the shot off his right foot, just wide across the face. Chris May diving, probably just had it covered there, John.
He probably did have it covered here, David, as we see on the replay, some twisting and turning by Nick Sulsma. He gets on his preferred right foot and fires a shot, which in fairness the goalkeeper probably had covered.
Well, May pumps that one long. There's a big wind carrying it forward. And Sean Kelly's misjudged it. A chance here. Good shot. A good save as well. Barisic with the shot. Gavalis did well to stretch out and smother that one. Nearly 1-0 from a mistake there from South, John.
Yes, almost a catastrophic error here by Sean Kelly. And Pete Gavalis does well to make the save from Barisic. The Knights could have been 1-0 up there, David, early on in the game. Eventually South cleared the danger.
Well, McGarry will be looking for some tall bodies in the box. Floats that one high, it holds up in the breeze. Gavalis has gotten lost, it's gone in. I think it went in initially. Gavalis punched out. I think it might have been over the line. It doesn't matter anyway. It's the Melbourne Knights 1, South Melbourne 0. It's a hell of a Pete Gavalis. South Melbourne behind here at Knights Stadium.
Well, what can you say about this, David? Whether or not the wind carried this or Pete Gavalis, his vision got obscured because of the sun, I don't know. But this is just a harmless floated ball in by James McGarry, and it's gone into the back of the net. And it's a bit of a howler for South to concede, but they are 1-0 down and they've got to fight back now and try and level the game.
Well, Tim Marler try to get things going with the long throw. Does exactly that. Now it bobbles up for Tyson Holmes. It's sat for him. On the left foot, Tyson Holmes scores. South Melbourne back in it. It's 1-1 before half-time. Tyson Holmes got it down onto his left foot, shot across the body of the keeper into the back of the net. It's been a while since he last scored, but that was a nice finish, John.
It's a lovely finish, David, and it's good because South has bounced back straight away after conceding that early goal. And as we see, Tyson Holmes, he didn't know much about that, but the ball does fall at his feet, and he's aware enough to fire a left-footed shot across Chris May and into the bottom corner of the goal. It's a lovely finish on his left foot, his non-preferred left foot as well. And Tyson Holmes levels things up here at Summer Street, 1-1.
Well, that clearing header, he got very low, but got it away in the end. Epifano. Still got it here, Epifano. Plays it in front of Rickson. But he blazes away with that one. Trent Rickson on the left foot. Just couldn't get the contact he really wanted there. Hopper and Sulsma both chasing this one. And they'll get another go at it eventually through Rickson. Rickson with strength. Rickson with the shot, but across the face of goals that time. Hopper sends it on. They try to clear it here, the Knights. Sulsma does well. Back to Hopper. Great ball in front of Rickson. The shot, but it doesn't matter. The flag is up. It was a beautiful move. An offside goal. Geez, there could only have been inches in that one, John.
Well, unfortunately, our camera angle doesn't quite cover this, does it, David? But nevertheless, it's a lovely ball by Hopper on the far side. And Rickson, it's a beautiful finish. And unfortunately, it doesn't count, David, because that was a fine goal indeed.
And Sulsma, they'd love an early one here in the second half to get the advantage. Brand can't reach that one. The shot from Rickson. He was leaning back on it and just couldn't get it on target. Blasting over the bar. South Melbourne need to take their chances early. And that one's laid up for Holmes. Lovely ball in front of Hopper. Hopper's in here. He's got Sulsma on the right. He might use him. Cuts back onto his right foot. The shot over the bar. Oh, he had time and space there. He needed to get that one on target because he had men running for him. A chance gone for South.
Oh, he's disappointed, isn't he, David? And he knows he should have done better here. Lovely ball by Tyson Holmes, which puts him free initially. And in the end, after cutting in, he blasts over the bar. Should have done much better here, David, as we see from behind the goals. And he had Rickson as well, and Sulsma ready to tap it in, but he goes for the shot and it doesn't trouble Chris May in the end.
Well, the high ball's just floating around, and oh, what a lovely flick on Aliniad's in here. Gavalis comes out, a chance now, good save, tipped, and yes, it's gone wide. Well done, Gavalis, got his fingertips to that one well. The Melbourne Knights nearly pulled off a great move there.
Well, that's a brilliant ball by James McGarry, I think it was, that put Aliniad through. And Pete Gavalis comes off his line, and look at that for a save, David. That's a brilliant save with the fingertips. And he's made up for his error from before, hasn't he, David? He's tipped that out for a corner. That's a fantastic save by the South goalkeeper.
They're playing around with this one, the Knights. They've got numbers in there. Barisic loses at that time, but they'll get it back here, the Knights. Barisic with the shot, the goal! A wonderful shot by Barisic, and Melbourne Knights lead again. For the second time today, they've gone in front. A sublime finish, nothing Gavalis could do about it that time. South Melbourne trail again, John.
Yeah, there's nothing Gavalis can do about this, David, but Barisic, he was on the ground and he wasn't marked here. As we see, the ball's laid off for him, and look, the finish is fantastic. That's a wonderful finish with the right foot curling it past Gavalis, but really the marking should have been a little bit tighter there, David. As we see Barisic celebrating there with the Knights faithful in the grandstand. The Knights 2-1 up here, and South have a lot to play for now.
Marler recognising his team needs to get going. A chance now, the header. Oh, Luke Hopper can't get the contact he wanted. The header came from Rickson. It was a nice move, but the finish not quite there.
It was another nice move, David, but again, Hopper blasting over Chris May's bar. He really needs to test the goalkeeper now. That's two good chances that Hopper has had, and he's blasted them over.
Well, Alan Kearney will come on for Tyson Holmes. Trying something different here, South Melbourne. Needing to get things moving. And another sub, it's going to be Reece Meredith into the game on for Epifano. Sulsma standing over the corner. Deadly with set pieces. That one whipped in. Brand. No, in fact, it's Rickson. And again, it's over the bar. And unfortunately that time, South just couldn't get the contact they needed. Norton really should look to use the wind here, and he does with a long, high ball. Floated in. Hopper cleared off the line. Still there. Eventually cleared away a second time, floating around. The ball sits up there. Brown attacking it. Hopper goes for the big overhead kick, but he couldn't reach it either, and South just can't find the goals.
No, they can't here, David, and as we see, Chris May this time having trouble with the winds, and luckily for him, he has his nice defenders to clear the ball away.
Sulsma's got options. Plays that one in. Great chance now for Norton! Oh, it's just gone wide. He managed to somehow get it between the post and Trent Rickson. Couldn't get contact with either.
Another good opportunity for South. Brad Norton hitting this one out for a goal kick. And again, David, we really need to put it on target to try and test the goalkeeper. It's gone wide again.
Last roll of the dice here for South Melbourne. On comes Jonathan Munoz. Let's see if he can add anything in the last few minutes. Oh, Chris May, he'll want to waste time. Oh, that's a poor kick. And it opens up for Alan Kearney. Kearney on the left foot. Kearney, God, saved again. Chris May gets back for a wild save after he initially gave it away quite poorly. John, South just can't score.
They can't, David, and if there's any person on the South team that you want this ball to fall to, it's Alan Kearney. He did it against Southern Stars, and he almost did it again. Chris May made the mistake, but geez, didn't he make up for it? That's a fingertip save over the bar and saves his team. South really should have drawn level here. So we see that's a wonderful save. He's made up for his mistake, and the Knights are still holding on to their 2-1 lead, David.
Sulsma, this could be about the last roll of the dice. Plays that one in looking for Brand. Oh, over the bar again. And he's paid a free kick there. I must say, it didn't really look like one. Probably doesn't matter in the end. Meredith, he'll get it from Hopper. Is there one last chance? No, there isn't. The referee's seen enough. South Melbourne, well, it's a frustrating way to finish the game, John. They were probably just as good as the Knights for much of it. You wouldn't say they really deserved to lose, but in the end, if you don't take your chances, you aren't going to win.
That's spot on, David. The Knights were effective in front of goal and South weren't, and unfortunately a game that probably should have ended in a draw resulted in a 2-1 win to the Knights. As we look at the stats here, South dominating with the balls into the area. The turnovers are quite even. Shots in total 23-8, and it's another missed opportunity for South.
I've got the skipper Brad Norton here with me. Probably fair to say, mate, you'd be pretty shattered after a result like that. I mean, the game was, an arm wrestle and it just didn't go our way.
Yeah, I thought that second half, we had enough chances to probably win 2 games. And I mean, it's like I think the last time I spoke to you guys, I mean, it's one of those things where it can go either way, and unfortunately it just didn't come our way, and it's disappointing, after a good run, 4 wins in 5, and we're on a good run, we had our heads up, and it was just one of those things, the ball didn't fall our way today, and still got 2 games to go. We're going to be pushing and really pushing for that final spot.
Look, we've been really great over the last month, as you've said. I mean, obviously, a bad result was going to come somewhere eventually. Logic says it has to. So how do you recover now? We've got a week off, then we've got 2 games against 2 very good sides, and we probably need to win both of those to make sure we get into finals.
It's a slip-up, but I mean, we've beaten some good teams in the past. We've beaten Northcote in the past as well, so there's no reason why we can't go out and beat them today, next week or the week after. So, I mean, we'll keep our heads up, we'll keep fighting. We want it. You can see that we want it. I mean, we've been showing it, like I said, the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've really been showing it, that we want to be in that finals position. So we're going to keep fighting, and you know, those last 2 games, we're going to push as hard as we can.
With a rest coming up, do you think it might be an ideal time for the players to get a bit of a break mentally as much as physically, so we're really focused for that last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, you know, before we were saying, you know, probably it's coming at the wrong time, the rest, you know, we're 4 out of 5 and looking good, you know, probably that momentum we want to keep going. But, I mean, there was a few injuries today. You could see a few boys a bit tired out there, so it could be coming at the right time. I mean, only time will tell, but like I said, we're going to be pushing and we're really going to give it a shake, I suppose, the last 2 games.
I think it's been a bit of a disappointing day for South Melbourne. Obviously, we came here with a lot of expectations, and obviously I'd trade my goal to win this game for anything, so it's unfortunate that we lost today, but hopefully we can keep kicking on next week.
Scoring just before half-time after going down 1-0, you probably thought we were going to get the momentum early in the second half, and we looked good for the first few minutes. I mean, what do you think happened? Is it physical? Are the boys tired after such a big month, or do you think it was just mental?
I can't really put my finger on it, to be honest, but like you said, scoring before the break to go in at 1-1 here at Knights, that was huge for us, and we came out, and I thought when we came out we sort of had them on the back foot for a bit, and we probably had a few chances that we missed, and then straight after we missed them, then that was a quality finish at the other end, and it sort of put a bit of a knife in our backs really, and we just couldn't get the goal to level it up again, so a bit disappointing, but hopefully we'll learn from it, definitely.
I've got the gaffer here with me, Chris Taylor. What do you say after a result like that? I mean, it's a bit gut-wrenching really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say too much. You know, very, very disappointed. You know, we knew the extent of today's result and what it meant to the whole club. Yeah, very disappointed for a lot of reasons. You know, we're like a charity shop at the moment. We're giving gifts away to other teams. We had plenty of chances today. Scrappy conditions, pitch weren't great, wind weren't great, but it was the same for both sides. But, you know, lack of determination, in my opinion. You know, they looked like they wanted it more than we did, and we're expecting things to happen, and that's the disappointing thing for me. We knew what was at stake, a spot in the finals, and now we're going to make it very hard for ourselves.
Well, on that note, it basically now becomes 2 elimination finals in our final 2 games. I mean, you know, a bad result was bound to come somewhere. I mean, can we still make finals this year?
Look, we certainly can. I mean, we've certainly got the team to do it, but we just got to start questioning people's character now and how much they want it and what the game means to them. Because, you know, I did think it was very spirited today. You know, in what was at stake. We were certainly the better team out there. We certainly created better chances. But, you know, you don't come away from home and give 2 goals away and expect to win games, you know, especially to a side like Melbourne Knights.
With a week off coming up, which might be timely, are you going to be putting the boys fairly hard on the training track to keep focused, or is it maybe best to have a bit of a rest and try and get their bodies right?
Look, I think we have to regroup and have a look at things and just see how people's attitudes are to the whole thing. But, you know, it's do or die now. Like you say, we're playing 2 elimination finals. Every week's just going to become harder and harder. But, you know, we've made life difficult for ourselves, so we've got to get ourselves out of it now.